Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about BFA and what I think my honest view of it is. Um, I've been gone for like a while and I kind of just want to talk about what my experience is. And I guess like somewhat of a backstory. So obviously BFA had a lot of ups and downs and I literally barely played the expansion. And I think it was worse than WoD mostly because of how I played PvP instead of PvE content. And especially in WoD, I hated PvE. And when I first started playing, I really didn't know much about PvP. And, everyone has their own experiences, but I really just didn't know that much about it. And I strictly just wanted to play PvE like when I first started because of Deathwing, and I really just wanted to kill him. But, obviously I didn't know that much about it at that point. And so then around like mid mop or like early mop, I got introduced into PvP and because I joined in like late Cataclysm. And I was introduced into PvP and I got more interested in it when I did, arenas and stuff. Because I just used to do like battlegrounds if I really wanted. And I started to really enjoy it and I had a whole bunch of fun. And then, after MOP, that was a kind of a starting expansion for me. Then, WoD came and I finally took PvP more seriously. And I actually, I didn't like seriously push, raiding, but it was still, that's when I really started to, get into PvP. And, I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. I felt like the structure of the game was just great. And I just wanted to continue on that road. But then after that, Legion came. And at the time during WoD, I played Disc Priest and they were really good. And it was a really fun class to play. But then, Legion came and they changed it, to be more DPS focused. And I didn't really like that. I didn't like the DPS to heal. And I feel like, a lot of people just didn't like, that change. I guess like you could say the same thing with survival hunters, people hated that they became melee. And people still hate it to this day, like they want it back like it was. And so, like I felt like when Legion came, I kind of tried to play PvP, because we changed the PvP system. But I didn't really like the system that they were with, they stayed with. And, we didn't have vendors or anything. So it was kind of, it was okay, but it wasn't the best. And, I didn't really feel like I was progressing like I did in WoD, because you used to do your BGs and then your arenas. You got the BG gear and then you got your arena gear. But I didn't feel that, like, yeah, you would get your gear weekly, if you do your weekly cap, but that's only one piece of gear. And then other than that, you kind of have an RNG of getting a piece, after you win a match. And it was kind of just not my style. And, I feel like a lot of people just didn't like that. Yeah, that was also when the prestige system was in, which was different and interesting. I don't really remember it though. But, even then, I feel like I barely played Legion. I mean, I did, but it wasn't as much as I wanted to, I guess. It was more than I did BFA, obviously. Then BFA came out, and I was really excited, because it was a PvP oriented expansion, at least so we thought. So, a lot of people got hyped over it, but it wasn't like a big hype, but, it's like, oh, maybe they're going to do something to PvP, but they never really did, which kind of sucked. But, then it became that, oh, you have to PvE to PvP, which really is not the way how the game should work. If you want, you should be able to PvP, and if you want, you should be able to PvE. But you shouldn't have to do one or the other to do, one of them. And I really didn't like that, like back in WoD, I didn't PvP that much at all. Or PvE that much at all. And, just because like it was just really bad. It just became really bad after that, and I really hated it. You know, like this whole expansion has been, you know, oh, you can't really do anything unless you PvE, and you know, and everything was so grindy, and there was all of that. But I don't know. Like after that, I just took a break. I was just done with the game, and because I wasn't having fun, like at all. I really wasn't. And so I took a break, like early 8.2 or whatever patch that was, whichever patch introduced Nazjatar and Mechagon. I took a break after a little bit, and I didn't come back until early 8.3. And the only reason I came back for 8.3 was because I felt like, you know, they're adding corruption and like visions and stuff like that. You know, it seemed interesting. You know, it was like different. You know, so I came back. You know, I played for a little bit, but you know, it still felt really grindy, and you know, it just wasn't that good. You know, and if I could give BFA like an overall rating, it would just be bad, just really bad, because I really didn't like it. You know, it was really grindy. You had to PvE to PvP, you know, and PvPers hated that, you know, and it just felt like you was a slow progression, you know, and I feel like if there's a slow progression, it's not as good as it could be. So I just feel like that was just one of the really big problems of BFA, you know? And honestly, yeah, I've been talking a lot of bad about the expansion, but I feel like the good thing was corruptions of visions. Why? Well, visions was somewhat like the Mage Tower in Legion, but it wasn't entirely, you know. It was still like a challenge, you know, for, you know, the start of the patch, you know, because people didn't have that much gear, you know, it's kind of hard to get through the visions, you know, and you progressively got more masks to make it more harder, you know, and like the Mage Tower, you didn't really have like, you know, like each level of hardness, you know, but, you know, I felt like it got a lot better, and overall just, it was like a challenge, you know, a little new thing, you know, it's kind of like Torghast also, you know, like obviously in Shadowlands, you know, Torghast is inspired by the visions. That's just obvious, you know. And I'm great that they're going down that path, because I feel like it adds a lot of a lot of depth in the game, you know, and like overall difference. And I know people don't like corruption, right? Because it's RNG, you know, you could one shot somebody and, you know, it's all random. But I feel like corruption is like a good element in the game to a certain extent. Why? Because I feel like corruption was just it just you know, the game being broken was more fun than the overall expansion, you know? Like, it was kind of sad that it was broken. It was sad that it was broken, but like it affected the patch in a good way, or the game in a good way. And I feel like that was a good part of it, you know? Like, you got you got gushing wounds, you know, doing a whole bunch of bleed damage. You know, you're not even on your target. You just tap your target and you get gushy wounds on them. You know, it's just like, oh, I can't do anything about it. You know, it's just corruption. You know, and I guess in a way it made it fun, you know, like it was kind of broken. But yeah, I obviously, you know, if it was on the vendor and not like a weekly cycle or whatever, like if it was essentially like PvP gear, you know, like you get enough Visions of N'Zoth, or not Visions of N'Zoth, Echoes of Nyalotha. That's what it is. You get enough echoes, and then, you know, you go buy a corruption, whichever rank you want, you know. Like, I felt like if they did that and had all the corruptions on the vendor, this patch would have been so much better. And I know a lot of people said that already, but, you know, it's one of the big things that they need to understand, you know, to not wait for things, for catch-up, or not to put quote-unquote catch-up mechanics in when the game is basically dying, you know? And a lot of people have said that. But, you know, other than that, You know, I think if I was to give BFA a number rating, I know I already gave it a rating, but a number rating out of 10, 10 being the worst, or the highest, I bet, I would give it a 3. 3 because, yeah, I barely played the expansion, which is kind of bad, but it just wasn't fun. You know, it was all chores and grind, and I can do that to a certain extent, but not a whole bunch. You know, like, and I kind of hate that they're dragging out the pre-patch, because there's not that much in the pre-patch, I feel. You know, it's just the Scourge invasion from Wrath, but, you know, dialed down a lot because, you know, they're so scared of, you know, interrupting people, and I don't even know. But it's better than what we have now. This has been the worst content drought I've ever had. And I just really want the pre-patch. And a lot of people do. They're tired of BFA, you know, they want something new. And that's what adds to the excitement of Shadowlands, you know, because there's just so many changes that are coming that will potentially make the game a whole lot better. I mean, just overall a whole lot better, you know? And honestly, yeah, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I haven't made that many videos. And, you know, the first video that I did was Korok's Revenge, you know, and that was kind of a video that I thought of because I was asking myself, yeah, you know, you could do Korok's Revenge, you know, level up your ults really quickly, but, you know, what happens afterwards? Do you get gear or what? Or how do you get gear? And I felt like nobody really answered that question. You know, I would look up videos and there wasn't really an answer. So I kind of just want to do stuff like, people have videos for like the main thing, but not like questions that you may have afterwards, you know, like I did. So I kind of want to do the questions that people don't really answer. That's the best thing I could think of. But yeah. So that's overall my BFA experience and review. If you want to know more about my channel or my past, you know, feel free to comment down below. I could do a whole video on like my experiences and stuff if people wanted. But, you know, if you like this type of video and this type of content, feel free to like the video and subscribe if you really want. And if you subscribe, make sure to ring the bell. So that's it. I guess I'll see you guys in the near future, hopefully pre-patch. I'll make some videos because I'll feel inspired to. And I'll see you later.